this one got into the hot chocolate. You have a hot chocolate face. Oh my goodness. Do you like her haircut? Look at her haircut. Go wash your face with a wipe, brush your hair, and then come back out, okay?
Like brush my hair?
Yeah, it'll be easy. It's short.
Yeah, we keep on dancing to the beat, and we keep on moving our feet. We keep on dancing, keep on loving, keep on making it real. We keep on moving, keep on loving, keep on making it real.
Welcome back to No Ordinary Path. I'm Kristen. This is Wendy behind me. This is our 37-foot travel trailer that we travel full-time in. My husband John is a travel nurse and he is working today. And we have 3 young bambinos, Chloe, Ethan, and Aaron, ages 5, 8, and 10. And we travel the country in search of adventure and family time. And we're hoping to inspire other people, other ordinary families like us, to experience something not so ordinary. RV parks are basically like tiny suburban neighborhoods. We've been doing all of the regular winter activities, like bundling up and playing at the playground, or sealing up our drafty windows, and getting into the Christmas spirit along with the rest of the RV park, and running Cinder, and maybe the kids too. That's a good dog. Yeah, that's a good girl. Get some exercise today. We finally found the dog park. Yes! Oh yeah, pulling the sleigh. Hi, baby. Hi. As you guys know, we don't have a lot going on here in Columbia, Missouri, and so instead of showing you what we've been doing, which is nothing, thought I would show you what it's like to live in an RV park. Now, this is 18 months into our journey. Our experiences today are much different than they were when we first got started, way back in our first contract in the very first RV park that we stayed at in Maryland. We were pretty new back then, and we did not know that spending $1,300 a month in an RV park was expensive. Like, we didn't know that that was high. Now we know. That was really high, and that was our first contract, and we got hit with all of those, you know, like the park costs this much money, and then it's this much money, what we call kid tax, what we have deemed kid tax, for each one of your children, and if you have an extra vehicle, and if you have a dog, and they just tacked and tacked and tacked and tacked. And then on top of that, they had a amount that you had to pay for electricity. So all told, our very, very first RV park monthly experience was $1,300 a month. Ouch! In the heat of the summer, when we were running the air conditioning all the time. And we have never ever paid that much for an RV park since. As you know, we love to boondock, and if you haven't seen some of our boondocking videos, check them out up here. But while we love boondocking, there are definitely some pros to staying in an RV park, like electricity and water and extra amenities such as a playground or a laundry room or a shower house, so I don't have to use my shower because you know how I feel about my showers. RV parks are not all bad, but there are some things that you should probably know etiquette-wise. The very first RV park we stayed at, Merry Meadows in Maryland, it had a bazillion rules.
What are the rules?
And that right off the bat just kind of ruined it for us because there were some really funny rules. In fact, if you have gone to an RV park, you know what I'm talking about. Comment below and tell us some of the weirdest rules that you have encountered. I would advise you, if the sign is posted to not do something, just don't do it. Just be courteous and follow the rules set there by the campground and know that this is their space and you're renting that space for a period of time. What I'm talking about right now are general rules.
They followed certain rules. Basic rules for intelligent people.
Things like keep your dog leashed, make sure you pick up after your dog. As much as Cinder loves to go outside and roam around, we don't let her do that in an RV park. Drive the speed limit. Now, I know sometimes it's really hard to drive 5 miles an hour, but if it's posted, drive 5 miles an hour. Have I been called on that? Absolutely. Sometimes it slips my mind. In one of the campgrounds we were at, I was super embarrassed because the owner came and talked to me about my speed, and I didn't even realize I was speeding, but I was. I was in the wrong.
Now wait, you're speeding, I can see it.
No, Miss Daisy, no. We only doing about 19 miles an hour.
Don't park in empty RV spots. You never know who's coming in, and so you want to keep your stuff out of somebody else's spot. Now, a lot of parks are really tight. This park is tight. It's just an average park, and we've had people on both sides of us. Luckily, at this very moment, there's not somebody on either side of us, but you have to just be mindful that people could be coming in at all hours of the night, so make sure you stay out of other sites. Another one that's posted, and this one drives me crazy because people have different definitions, is supervise your children. And this one's super hard for me because I am not a helicopter parent. I like to give our kids a little bit of freedom. However, when you're in an RV park, you don't want to leave your kids unattended. And this one is difficult for me because where we're at right now, certain times when there's not rigs parked right here, I can see the playground. And so I feel like if they have a walkie and I can see them from the RV, that I'm supervising them. However, the park that we're staying at does not agree with that. So I have to respect their boundaries and follow their rules. Smoking. If there's a sign posted somewhere that says do not smoke, please do not smoke there. The park that we're staying at right now, the bathroom and the laundry room always smell like smoke, even though there's posted signs that say no smoking here. So I don't know what the situation is with that, but please, if something like that is posted, just follow the rules. Here's my tip for the shower house. This particular shower house says, or this bathroom area says no smoking, and yet it smells very much like smoke every time I come in here. Here, or the laundromat, which is why I'm not using the laundry here, facilities here, but here's my tip. If you have essential oils, now maybe you have a favorite rep or brand or whatever, this one actually happens to be the Now brand, but I also love doTERRA. This is eucalyptus. Bring your eucalyptus oil with you and put a few drops in your shower to get rid of any other smells that are happening and just to help you relax a little bit. There's a lot of other posted rules that you're going to find, and you should follow them to the best of your ability. But what I really want to talk about are some unwritten rules that kind of drive us crazy. And there are so many more than the ones I'm going to list, but I'm going to list 5 unwritten rules that I think that you should make sure that you try to follow. Don't walk through somebody else's site.
Get off my lawn.
Now, sometimes this is a posted rule, but mostly you should never just cut through somebody's site, even if you're trying to get to a bathroom. Rent out a space in an RV park, that is our space for the time that we're there. And we don't have a lot of space in this world. This is our space. So we wouldn't want somebody else walking into our space, and we don't let our kids walk into other people's space. And it's a constant reminder because kids don't always remember that. So there's also a place for grace here, where if you have a child walking through your site and that upsets you, you could politely ask them not to do it again. Maybe they need a reminder. Keep your things to your own site. Okay, so we have a really tight site right now. It's not actually intended to park 2 vehicles in, but that does not give us the right to park our vehicle in somebody else's spot. That also goes for your antennas, for your games, for your chairs or tables or whatever extra things that you have with you, make sure it's in your own sight.
This is where you live. Right here. You live right here.
The guy that we had next to us before this, he was a nice enough guy, but he put his like antenna, I don't know what it was, like a dish type of thing. It looks like a Darth Vader head, but it was white. It's like a little dome. I don't know what they are. Anyways, he stuck it like in our sight at the back of our RV. And we weren't home at the time, but then when we got home with the van, we're basically on top of it. And so, you know, just make sure that you keep your things in your own spot. Please, please turn off your lights at quiet time. Or at night in general, okay? Quiet time is a good rule of thumb, but if you have your porch lights on all night long and you're in a park where you're right next to somebody else, you're likely shining your light into somebody else's bedroom.
3.
No.
What happened?
He hates bright lights.
We always make sure that our lights are turned off when we go to bed or before we go to bed, and especially if you have a neighbor, you should just be cognizant of that. Maybe you're not bothered by light pollution. I personally could sleep in a brightly lit room if I was tired enough, but other people might be a little bit more sensitive to that, so you should, you know, be aware. Don't be this guy. That rig is about, I don't know, 8 feet away from us. Bright porch light shining on us. It's 2:30 a.m. The last one is just be courteous. In every dealing that you have with somebody else, try to be nice and kind and courteous towards that person, even if they're making you very angry. The best way to handle a situation is to stay calm and keep your cool so that you don't have to go back and apologize for your nasty behavior later. She does not have shoes on. Are you kidding me? Chloe!
Hey guys, take a look around.
Yeah, we keep on dancing till